G'day, Coach. It's Roy from the Age in Melbourne. Just want to say, just want to ask, what's it feeling like after winning in Melbourne? It's such a rare thing for interstate teams to do. What's it mean for your side to have held on and got this W?
Well, I think it's a huge growth curve for us. Obviously, we've had some bumps along the way, and we're slowly starting to figure some things out. And the defending champions, and to come in this building and compete like we did, we bent a little bit, but we didn't break, and we held our composure and made the right plays down the end. And I will say that I really respect Dean Vickerman and this group over here and what they've done, and they have a pedigree of winning, and Dean's a hell of a coach, and we're just thankful and lucky and humbled to get out of here with a win.
That fourth quarter, what did you make of how your side handled the pressure and adversity, and Jack McVeigh's inclusion? How did he sort of help you guys get this done?
Well, I think, again, it's a team effort across the board with everyone just chipping in as we went along and making the right reads and the right plays. And this is one of the first times that we've probably been re-pressured like we normally pressure teams. So I think it was a great experience for us also to go through that on the road. It's our first, I guess, technically away win. Yeah, 4 in a row, a lot of growth. I love the group. They're just grit and grind and a lot of character in them, and they just keep fighting.
What's helped you guys get to 4 in a row? Because it looked a few weeks ago like you had a bit of trouble offensively, teams pushing you a fair bit. What's linked to let you start putting these wins together?
Well, I think I take a huge responsibility of not being very good offensively in the beginning of the year. We spent probably 80% of our practices and our preseason on defense, and 20% was on offense. And I thought that eventually we would be able to start to flip over and concentrate. I think. But we're building a franchise here. We're building a foundation, and the foundation has to be defensive-minded, a culture-built foundation of what it means to wear this green jersey, to represent the great state of Tasmania and what the people expect there. And I thought, we spent a serious amount of time defensively. And in the last 3 to 4 weeks, our coaching staff's done a fantastic job of just gradually picking on some things that would be our strengths offensively, and guys starting to get comfortable. And I think the next big thing for us was in the last 2 or 3 weeks, guys starting to feel their roles of where they really could impact the game, how they help their teammates. It's all growth. Listen, we've played, 11 games? I don't even know now. 11 games in our history of our franchise, and 15 new players, and it's all new. It's all growth.
Jared Waller, go ahead.
Hey, Scott. Jared, mate. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
You always talk about you're very process-driven, and the ladder doesn't matter to you as much.
Yeah.
You guys really are banging on the door of the top 4 now. Do you at all switch your mindset and start to focus on, we actually might be a legitimate chance to make finals this year? Or how do you think that as a coach?
Well, I definitely don't look at the ladder, and our guys, I don't think any of them ever talked about the ladder or what the standings look like. We have been driven by the process. We have been driven by doing the work every day and showing up. And, I drive these guys really hard. I drive this guy extremely hard to improve and get better and do the work. And then the results will accumulate over time. And I said from day one, I want to win a championship this year. I want to be in the playoffs this year. It might be far-fetched to some, but you're in professional sports and you're just trying to win every game you possibly can and develop this franchise. And we'll see where it all ends at the end of the day. But we're here to compete, and we're here to go after people and make people uncomfortable, and we'll just see how it all shakes out.
Absolutely. You touched on it a bit before. I guess how proud are you of the guys getting their first away win? You've obviously had some success at home, and people thought, let's see how they go on the road now and play the defending champs and put in a performance like that.
Yeah, listen, I'm extremely proud of everyone in our front office, the work that's been done to start this franchise, and the support we've had with Simon Brookhouse and obviously Larry Katzelman giving us the green light to get whatever we needed to get done here. And I'm extremely proud of the entire staff. It's a work in progress. This is a big job to build a franchise from the first day. And these guys have bought into the culture, bought into loving each other and being around each other and feeding off of each other. It's a heck of a group, and I'm really proud of the character and the humbleness that they have to go about their work.
How proud are you of the big fellas sitting beside you in his performance tonight?
Yeah, like I said earlier, and he can speak about it, but I've driven him very, very hard because I have high expectations for him. I think he's ultra talented at some of the things he does. That's maybe a little bit unique in the league, and it's been a grind for him. I'm sure he'll admit that it's not gone as smoothly as he likes, but he had a breakout game today at a perfect time on the road and put things together. And that's what I expect from him on a nightly basis. It doesn't have to be with scoring. It just has to be with the intent to go attack and be cerebral and play and facilitate the ball and then use his great size and speed to defend people. So I'm really happy for him. He definitely earned it tonight.
Absolutely. And to McKyle, mate, congrats on a great game and on the win, mate. It must have felt good to put in your best performance in such a good game.
Yeah, it definitely felt great. Like Coach said, we just put in work every single day in practice. Come to practice with the right mindset. Been struggling, like Coach said from the beginning, and it was just nice to have a win and also a good game at the same time after all the work that we put in as a team, and how hard I felt like I've been working as well.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. How tough has it been? You both said, you haven't had the start to the season you would have liked. How tough's it been to sort of keep putting in the work, and it must be good to finally put in a nice performance like this on the back of that hard work?
Yeah, Coach touched on it earlier on. I think it was around the time where the team caught COVID, where he told me that from the time I got here in September till now is a great improvement of in practice at least, of the player that I came in as and the player I am now. And it was just the process, like Coach always talks about, is the process of always doing the same stuff every single day, consistency. And I felt like I started to do that, and it wasn't translating to the game. And you got to keep going, and keep having confidence in yourself and letting the stuff you do in practice come to the game. So I think that it's just a work, really, it's just a bunch of work, always work.
And that performance today, is that sort of the new standard for you? You obviously hope that that's going to be your base moving forward.
I have a different standard for myself, just to come out here and play as hard as possible. Last game I had a couple steals and different things like that. It doesn't, like Coach said, it doesn't have to be points. It just has to come out here and do my role and do whatever I can to help us either keep this run going or just get a win on a nightly basis, one by one. So whatever it is to win. My standard is always my standard of trying to be the best player I want to be. But if sometimes it's Jack McVay's night. Some nights it's Josh Adams' night, Majet's night, Will Magnay's night. It doesn't matter. It's just we all come in here, we all love each other, we all appreciate each other. So there's no hate or anything like that. So it's not really like I want to come in here and score 30. It's like I want to come in here and help the team win. And if it's scoring that night, then it's scoring. If it's rebounding, if it's playing defense, and whatever it is, it's just trying to come in here and win.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Awesome win.
Appreciate it.
7 Tasmania, go ahead.
Hey guys, congrats on the win. What's been the difference in fourth quarters of late for the team? Obviously, a few pretty close losses early in the season, whereas there's obviously been a huge improvement in the way you guys have been able to close out games.
Yeah, I think it's just, again, we've been ultra focused on defense, and it gradually started to, turn our concerns to the offense, which was sputtering a little bit, and maybe we, missed on a couple games early on. But I think just the focus of just making sure that these guys were comfortable in some sets and finding out what their roles would actually be and how they could actually impact the game. And my assistant coaches did a fantastic job of just breaking things down the last 3 weeks of being able to pick apart some things that we could hang our hat on and stay poised and be able to be in some kind of structure and some kind of shape that we could play out of at the end of the day. And it gives us predictable shots. It gives us predictable looks. And you can live with that. And early on, we were a little scattered across the board. Our defense was fantastic, but we were scattered offensively.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
And finally, Fraser, you've got a question.
Yep. Hi, Coach. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Just one from me.
Yep.
We saw Josh Adams come down hard on his hip.
Yep.
Is there a concern there? You spoke to him. Is there a concern with that?
Well, obviously, he had a fitness test this morning, so kudos to him to get through this game. He's just had some tightness in his legs, and we have a relatively good break coming up here, about 6 or 7 days, and we were trying to manage his minutes, and he took a foul, kind of a hard fall, and I'm sure he'll bounce back. We have some days to recover, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But we were very sensitive to his minutes and just trying to keep him ready to go without overdoing it or extending him.
Nick Randall, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just a quick one from me. MiKyle, really, you've copped a lot of heat and a lot of criticism and had people calling for you, the Tasmania to move on from you. Did you hear that noise, and is this a bit of a, this is what I can do, this is what I can do down in Tassie?
You always hear, chatters of people saying things or people online commenting things on different stuff, but at the same time, you're a professional athlete. It comes with it. Some people don't like the way you're playing, and I mean, out of all the people that didn't like the way that I was playing was myself. I was hard on myself, so I did hear some of it. I try not to listen to it. I try not to focus on that because I got to focus on my own process. But people have the right to feel how they want to feel. But I know that what I can bring, and that's why I work every day in practice to be that player. So it's just about translating that to the game every single day, and it's about consistency. So it's not just one game. Come in here and do this today. It has to be every day thing, and then an every game thing. So that's kind of just the process of it, really.
And Scott, can you speak to that as well? Is a game like tonight sort of show the people that doubted him that they've got it wrong?
Well, listen, I've said it before. I'm his biggest cheerleader, but I'm also his hardest critic. And I see potential in him, and that's why he came here. And I've been pushing a lot of buttons with him and getting him upset and patting him on his back and getting him upset and forcing him to be uncomfortable. But not just him. I go after all of our players to challenge them to be better. I think one of the things that I said from the beginning is we have to be unique. We have to be different than the other 9 teams that are here, and that means a lot of guys getting out of their comfort zones and just not playing a normal style of game or normal expectations. And I continue to push him. I will continue to push him and Josh Majette and Magnay and all of them at the end of the day. I want the best for them at the end of the day to grow into people and better players. And like he said, it's the work. And he was doing the work and getting better at the work and being consistent at it. It just hadn't translated yet to the game. And the rewards were today of a guy that's put in the work, and it translates into the game today.
And final question, please, Jared.
Hey, Scott, just one more, mate. Without
Sure.
harping on the wins too much, I know you're very focus-driven. You're 6-6 now. I guess, is the team in terms of wins and losses exceeded expectations where you'd be this early in your first inaugural season?
I mean, that's really, it's difficult for me to say because, again, I just don't focus on those type of things. And I think they take care of themselves over time and just, again, putting in the work and making sure that we're not skipping steps and we're doing it every day. And it's just not something really that I think too much about when I get up in the morning to go to work next week. It's all about the process to get to the game, and then it's on to the next one. And looking too far down the road or what other people's expectations were. The biggest expectation for me was to make sure that we made Tasmania proud of a product that was on the floor, that the fans in the state could be able to cheer and see the hard work and the grit and grind that they play with. That was my number one priority. What that led to, 6 wins right now. But that was my number one priority, to make sure that the product that was on the floor represented the state and the people that are there as we build this fan base.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. All good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good evening.